Well, thanks, Mark. Welcome along, everyone. Andres Iniesta, Xavi and co. Very intent on making up for that surprise defeat at home to Hercules in the Champions' only home league game so far this season. Facing a Sporting Gijon side who have made a raft of changes from their match at the weekend. A 2-2 draw against Athletic Bilbao. As for Barcelona, well, 3 changes from the team that won so impressively at Atletico Madrid. But for an outstanding performance from David De Gea in the Atletico goal, Barca would have won 6, maybe even 7-1. But Milito coming into the starting 11, as does Keita and Bojan. There's no Piqué, no Pedro, and of course, as you've heard, no Lionel Messi. 9 changes in that Sporting side. Only Lora and Rivera and Botía, 8 changes Preciado makes to the starting 11 against Athletic Bilbao. So an opportunity for a number of the fringe players in the Sporting ranks to impress on the big stage here at the Camp Nou. It's safe to say, Jerry, it's been a wonderful reply from Barcelona, not only beating Atletico Madrid, a game you saw at the weekend, but of course Panathinaikos here 5-1 in their first Champions League group match after that shock defeat to Hercules.
Yeah, I think they had something like 50 shots, which is a record from the Champions League from the officials. They said they'd never had a team had so many shots in the Champions League, but you know, they tried to bounce back. I think it was a bit of a blip for them after the players returning from international duty, and they're out to make it right here as we see Maxwell pushing forward on the left-hand side. It's all Barcelona, with Sporting de Gijon getting behind the ball as much as possible.
Well, like all opposition in this stadium, Sporting will not expect to see a lot of the ball. It's absolutely crucial when they have got it that they are not anxious in possession and gifted back. Mind you, that's easier said than done against this Barcelona team that presses the ball when they're out of possession, as good as any side you'll see. Here's Alves, his first of many, I suspect, charges down that right flank. Interesting test for the young Spanish under-21 international, Jose Angel, the left-back.
Very highly rated as well, Kevin. Got lots of potential, this young left-back, I tell you.
Got 2 very good left-backs at Sporting. One of the players that's been left out tonight, Canea, is also an under-21 international. But they've got forward in plenty of numbers here. One thing we know about the Sporting side, whichever 11 players they put out under Preciado, they'll be committed, they'll be fit, and they're here to give Barcelona a game, and they've got the first corner of the match.
No, you're right there, Kevin, what to say. Preciado puts out sides that work tremendously hard. And, I see sit with the ankle. Is that it? Is that what he's complaining about? Look, nothing to me.
Referee deciding in favour of Barcelona. It was a poor corner in the end from Sporting.
Well, they look as if they set out a 4-4-2, Kevin. They've got 2 strikers on the park. Sporting Gijon, which is quite brave of Preciado, and he's got Bilić and Barral up front. But everybody's getting behind the ball. They're just in their own half. They're going to try and deny space. They've seen what happened with Hercules in the opening game of the season, and they're thinking maybe we can get lucky. Is that going to be a yellow card for pulling it back?
Rivera is the offender, and the referee is going to book Alberto Rivera.
Well, it deserves a yellow card. There's no necessity for that so early on in the game. Is it Rivera's getting hurt? Well, it's Rivera that did it, but it's somebody else complaining. It was certainly Rivera pulled them back. Ex-Real Betis player. Quite a creative midfield player, I must say, as well, Rivera. I liked him when he was at Betis. Had a lot longer hair. He had hair like Puyol in those days.
confirmed as Rivera's yellow card. Gathered in beautifully by Iniesta. Here's Villa! And Cuéllar happy to gather at the second attempt ahead of the on-rushing Bojan. Lovely pass though from Iniesta to get Villa in behind the Sporting defence for the first time this evening.
Cote.
Iniesta takes on Sastre, the Sporting captain. Iniesta looking round for a decision his way. Sastre gets away with that goal kick.
He does, because there's a little pull of the arm there, and again there. But then, as he's getting close to the box, he knows he's not going to get the ball, and he goes down. I think if it had went down in the first challenge, he might have got it. But this is the pass from Iniesta. You mentioned, Kevin. Excellent run from Villa. Great pass, and look at Bojan looking for the bits and pieces of Cuéllar, who hasn't played a lot of football, I've got to say, the ex-Atletico Madrid goalkeeper. I think it's his first start in, what, 18 months?
Yep, only 2 Copa del Rey ties for Iván Cuéllar for Sporting last season. He was #2 goalkeeper for a spell at the Vicente Calderón, as Jerry rightly says, with Atletico Madrid. Leo Franco was the first choice then. He was once an Atletico Madrid goalkeeper that let in 6 against Barcelona. Must be fearful of something similar tonight. Well, we'll see. This much changed Sporting side, team that led 2-0 at one stage in their match against Athletic Bilbao at the weekend, played very well in the first half, not so well in the second, and Athletic might just have pinched it in the end. Finished 2-2.
Yeah, they did. They came strong. I think one that they realised that they could get at Sporting Gijon, who I thought were magnificent first half for them. Once they realised they could get at them, and they made a few changes as well. The likes of, well, Llorente was looking for service up front, and he popped up with the first goal, but Bojan and co, who are very creative, they just tore them to shreds. And I think my old mate Manuel Preciado was very aware of that, as he's made 8 changes to the side. Maybe he's looking fresh legs, he's looking fresh commitment, but they'll all be up for it playing here at the new camp.
Here's Busquets. Now Xavi. Familiar as Barcelona come out from the back. Notice how Busquets just goes in between the 2 central defenders who split wide, Puyol and Milito. You see that regularly with Barcelona. His distribution from the back, Busquets, is generally good.
He's a very good passer of the ball, and he can pick a pass. He's got that quality. Sometimes quite languid. Dives too much for me as well, Kevin, I have to say, Busquets, but he's a talented player, and he's getting valuable experience over the last 2 years. Imagine coming into the first team at Barcelona 2 years ago, and he's now a World Cup winner. You know, that's a fairy tale story for him.
Closing in on 100 games in the Barcelona first team now, Sergio Busquets. Looks like he's going to be a fixture for some years to come. Here's Milito, his first league start of the season. It's a great pass. Look at the space opening up here. Iniesta denied by Cuéllar.
Well, Kevin, he may not have played for 18 months, but that's a big save. He's made 2 good saves now in the opening 10 minutes. Very important that they keep this sheet clean for the time being. What a pass from Milito to pick him out. First touch is good, steadies himself, hits the target low, and excellent goalkeeping.
Looks like offside, surely, against Milito.
And you can tell he's naturally left-footed with a shot with the right foot, can't you? He's only 5 yards off. That's an excellent pass, though. Picked him out really well. And this is another thing I'm noticing, Kevin, with the full-backs tucking in to deny space and support the midfield players. There's a lot of space in the flanks, which usually Maxwell and Dani Alves exploit to good advantage, and they get forward and create lots of chances. But This is from earlier. Puyol fell awkwardly and he's complaining of a slight calf strain maybe.
Here's a chance maybe, opening up for Sporting. He shot from Bilić. It was deflected, surely. He's asking for a corner.
It was. I think the last touch came off Carlos Puyol here. There, definitely.
Xavi. Game's coming thick and fast during this busy spell as the ball was given away cheaply by Milito. Busquets had to get back at the second time of asking to close out Bilić. But fourth game in 12 days for Barca. A couple of big matches coming up as well. That trip to San Mamés and Athletic Bilbao at the weekend, followed by a trip to Russia and Rubin Kazan, who had the measure of Barcelona in the Champions League group stage last season, you might recall. They won here and drew the home leg. Xavi. Pass rather uncharacteristic of Xavi Hernández behind Maxwell. (34 years old now, the Sporting captain, Ruben Sastre, taking the throw. Up against the pace of Maxwell and Villa, as we know, who loves to operate sometimes wide on that left-hand side in the fluid front three again. Be a test for Sastre. Puyol. Milito. Looking for that diagonal pass again. This time Bojan was the target.
Space is there, and thankfully Jose Angel is a 6-footer and he won that one.
Seydou Keita. Maxwell. Little break here for Keita. And Xavi. Milito. Maxwell well advanced again.
Is that for offside? That's all I can think of. I don't think that's a handball. No, the ball's went out of play. It's a throw-in.
Getting a good run in the side at the start of the season, the Brazilian Maxwell. His main rival for that left-back role, Eric Abidal, is absent because of a family bereavement. But apart from sitting on the bench in the Champions League against Panathinaikos, Maxwell has played every minute of the other games so far.
He was very good towards the end of last season, Kevin. Great going forward. I think Abidal's a better defender than him, but I do like the way he attacks and suits this formation that Barcelona play very well.
Milito looking to step on the gas here. Made up the ground really well, the Argentine. Keita. Referee looking to play advantage. This is Xavi. Somehow it stayed in possession of Barcelona. Villa. This is Keita. David Villa again. Seydou Keita. Well defended by Botía. Big night for the central defender of Sporting Gijon. Came through the ranks here at the Camp Nou and has had a really good time of it since he went initially on loan to Sporting, 21 years old, and he joined them permanently on a free from Barca in the summer, and looks a real prospect.
don't know if he went for a complete free. I think there was a sum of money was paid. If Barcelona want to buy him back, they have to pay 3 million, is what I was told. But Preciado loves him. He's done really well from. He's getting first-team football. He's only 21, and you know it's good for both player and club. If he does come on and does make progress in the next year or two at Sporting Gijon, Barcelona can always buy him back for 3 million euros.
Iniesta, who's had the best chance so far. Header down was from Bilić. Morán having a throw out of Maxwell. Sporting Gijon finished 15th in the league last season. They only won twice away from home. Sastre pilots in the long throw and they win the first header. Xavi who knocked it away and helped on by Alves. Plenty of time here for Botía to find Cuéllar. He's made that excellent save from Iniesta. Certainly Preciado will be looking to get through 20 minutes without conceding. Almost there. Bojan.
What a lovely little cushioned header from Carlos Bojan to start the attack off to the central midfield player, Busquets. And then it's business as usual. A lot of possession. Just got to try and break down this stubborn Sporting Gijon defence.
Xavi. Busquets. Header won by Milito. Easy for Cuéllar. Coming together there of Bilić and Puyol, and be an interesting contest.
It will be a good contest. They'll battle. He likes the aerial contact, does Bilić, and so does Puyol. Both will challenge for everything. Coming up to 20 minutes now, Kevin, and I think Preciado and Sporting Gijon will be very happy. Only two really scary moments, and the goalkeeper, Cuéllar, was up to both efforts.
Puyol. Cut out easily by Botía. Rivera helping it forward. Good brave header there, won by Puyol. David Villa. The loss of Messi, on whom Barcelona looked for goals principally last season. What we felt so keenly, Messi's absence, with Villa obviously adding to their already potent goal threat this season, not overextending Cuéllar on that occasion.
No, he's looking to get the angle, and you're right, Kevin, he doesn't really get a hold of it. It's like a back pass for Cuéllar.
Well, more Spanish football coming up for you later from the Mestalla. It's been a great start to the season for Valencia, the only side with a 100% winning record so far. They host in-form Atletico Madrid, 9 o'clock, HD 3-3.
Is the other centre half, Iván Hernández.
Dani Alves. Xavi. Busquets happy to hear the whistle in his favour. Maybe the tempo of the passing, Jerry, from Barcelona, not quite as high as this man would like.
I think he likes to be more incisive in the final third, a bit crisper, and they're sort of toying with him at the moment, Kevin. They've created 2 or 3 chances, but we know they've got another couple of gears they can go up, and that's even allowing for the fact that Messi's not playing.
Alves links nicely with Xavi. Milito. Taken on beautifully by Iniesta. Gliding past defenders as if almost they weren't there, and just ran out of pitch.
It was almost brilliant, Kevin. The way he turned and accelerated in the box, and he just left it too late. It went over the line. For me, it was a goal kick. This is it. There, he just didn't keep it in, unfortunately. But he's the one player, when he runs with the ball from deep position, he's so difficult to pick up and stop. And that's another player who can do something similar. We'll see him in a few weeks, hopefully.
Yes, they're talking about a fortnight, maybe a touch longer, that Messi will be missing. That would keep him out, of course, of this weekend's trip to Athletic Bilbao and that Champions League group stage game in Russia against Rubin Kazan. But it was certainly good news that there was no break of the Messi ankle, just a sprain after that challenge from Thomas Ushvalusi at the weekend.
Yeah, it was a bad challenge, but it wasn't like really bad. I've seen a lot worse, and quite a hue and cry from the press to suspend him for 10 weeks, which I think was unnecessary.
Milito. Alves. Lora with the challenge on Alves.
He just couldn't wait, Lora, could he? He just wanted to get in. Dani Alves is going nowhere. He's going to byline. He doesn't need to dive in. That's the crazy thing. Stay on your feet. He's got all the problems. And suddenly Lora, who can play as a right back or a right midfield player, playing on the left side of midfield, has given the free kick away.
Puyol, Milito, Keita. All threats in there from the Xavi free kick, who looked to try and feed the run of Villa. Iniesta.
Very Iniesta like that was, and Jose Angel got a problem. Just there. He kicked the studs of David Villa. That's what it looked like. 21-year-old, good left foot, great potential.
One of the local boys, born in Gijon, which of course is where David Villa hails from, and was a second division player with Sporting for a couple of seasons, really where he made his name, and went on to Real Zaragoza and then to Valencia, and now his big move to Barcelona on the back of that World Cup winners medal. It's been some 12-18 months for these Spanish internationals, and Barcelona players in particular, laden with success. Milito. Maxwell looking for Keita, put out well by Rivera. Xavi, Iniesta. Breaks down rather tamely for Barcelona.
Well, 25 minutes gone, Kevin, and a lot of people said this was going to be a cakewalk for Barcelona, and that Manuel Preciado had handed the points to them on a plate. Blah, 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 blah. It ain't been easy. They've worked hard, they've got a pattern, they're organised, they're keeping it tight, they're not allowing them time on the ball, and they've had 2 or 3 good chances, Barcelona, and the keeper's been up to it, but I think Preciado will be very pleased.
Major stop here for Sporting Gijon.
Be even more pleased if he could nick one at the other end. Barral and Bilić up front. Constant threat. You can't rest on your laurels.
It's a corner to Sporting. Almost found a way through here, Barral. Bojan into overdrive here. Have to go it alone. Intent on doing just that. Bojan.
Good defending. Excellent cover. It looks like it was Lora who's come back to help him out. And the 2 centre-backs done well to holding him up, Kevin, for me. I think that great defending, Botía and Iván Hernández. But this is a superb run.
Comes the Xavi corner. Cuéllar kept his eyes firmly on the ball and not on the on-rushing Barca skipper, Carlos Puyol.
Keeper's going well. This is a fabulous run, I have to say, really good. And look at them racing back. There's a lot of players racing back to tip it out. It's actually Botía who puts it out in the end. Good goalkeeping though. Keeps his eyes firmly fixed on the ball, Cuéllar.
Alves. Xavi work this wide for David Villa. Wants to come inside of Sastre. Oh, well, that was borderline from Sastre with the challenge on Maxwell.
Well, he has to get it right. Not sure he got any of the ball. But there's no complaint from Maxwell. Let's say as he dinks it in there.
Well, he got nothing of the ball, and rather luckily for Sastre, he got nothing of Maxwell, but it could easily have been a different story.
But there was no claim from Maxwell. Well, it was a cheer from the crowd, but Maxwell didn't actually appeal for a penalty kick, which is good to see. Saw another left back from another part of Spain last night do something similar, but he dived and he got booked for it.
Rivera and Luis Morán orchestrating the Sporting Gijon free kick. Almost half an hour gone. In a stadium where Barcelona averaged 3 goals per league game last season. A rare shutout against Hércules in that surprise 2-0 defeat earlier this month. Surely Sporting are not going to come and do something similar.
You have to think, look, you know, Hércules just promoted. If they can do it, we can do it. They've all seen it on television. They've all seen that it's against these quality players. So believe.
Puyol nudged in the back there by Bilić.
Like I said, these two is going to have a right old tussle. It's going to be every single ball they're going to contest.
Busquets. Xavi. Free kick against Maxwell.
Another one, Morán on the right side of midfield. He's another one who could play full-back, Kevin. Very defence-minded, wide players, both Morán and Lora. Now, Lora played as who's left midfield. He played right back in the game against Bilbao last week. And there's a method to Preciado's madness here, you can see that.
Just notice how effectively they've hunted in packs in this first half. Free kick is given in favour of Dani Alves against Lora.
Preciado wasn't happy that this was given. Looked like he made a mistake there, Dani Alves. He's got out of jail free. Now look at Preciado. He's very animated. He was as a fullback as well, I can tell you.
Jerry's former teammate at Mallorca, Manolo Preciado. Absolutely adored by the public up in Gijon. He's the longest serving head coach. He's in his 5th season. Iniesta. Maxwell threaded it beautifully for Villa.
Well, that's the first clear-cut chance David Villa's got against his old club, his hometown club, and he should have hit the target. He's got clear. He wants to hit it with his left foot, and he drills it a yard wide. Should have done better.
4 goals in 4 games for Valencia against Sporting Gijon. I remember him scoring last season and not celebrating.
Look at Pepe. It's funny. Oh, he said no talking. He said he didn't touch him, and Pep sort of giggles, and he is very animated.
There's a wonderful facial expression from Guardiola. The outburst of Preciado. That's going to be worth watching as much as matters out there on the pitch. Maxwell. All very tight for the Brazilian. Bilić.
It's a great tackle from Milito, wasn't it?
First league appearance for Gabriel Milito since April. Did play in the Super Cup at the start of the season in the 2 legs against Sevilla. No room there for Luis Morán. Milito. It's too long for Bojan. Opportunity for Bojan Krkić to maybe get a couple of starts, one tonight in the absence of Messi, and preferred ahead of Pedro.
I'd rather take Pedro, but he needs to play Bojan. But he had a great opportunity against Hercules and he didn't take it. Now, almost sprung the trap. Showed good anticipation and bravery there.
Unusual position for Leo Messi to be occupying. Moment, Barcelona haven't fired on all cylinders going forward, and full credit to Sporting Gijon for that. Look well organised, good shape about them out of possession. Here's Bojan, earns a corner.
That's Lora back defending, helping out, as I said, Kevin. They're working tremendously hard in the middle of the park to support the back four and prevent Barcelona overrunning them.
Corner taken by Xavi, missed by Puyol. It's Iniesta. Alves. Andres Iniesta in his 9th season of first-team football now, still only 26.
It's not at his peak yet, Kevin. Frightening, isn't it?
It is. Xavi. Iniesta. It's Busquets. Alves. Bojan. It's a lovely turn. Oh, what a pity he slipped. It was a brilliant turn from the youngster.
Get everything right, Kevin. Just lost his footing at the vital last second. Could maybe put the ball in early here now. When he's got the touch, could he have crossed it now? Wants to take another touch, and what sort of footwear is he wearing? Looks quite greasy, the surface, doesn't it?
Barcelona like to water the pitch heavily, suits their style. Didn't work there for Bojan. Barral. David Barral in his 5th season. He's a former Real Madrid B team player. Just 5 goals last season. He'd be looking for an improvement on that. He got 14 the season before. Sporting Gijon have brought in several interesting signings in the summer. An Argentine striker, Gaston Sangoy, who scored at the weekend in the 2-2 home draw with Athletic Bilbao, but he's not even made the squad tonight. But Sebastian Egueren, that's a name that familiar viewers to La Liga football will know from his time, the Uruguayan up at Villarreal, defensive midfield player. And Nacho Novo, former Glasgow Rangers striker, who's out with a hamstring injury, is also on the books now of Sporting. So a bit of experience to add to a lot of good young talent that they bring through. Here's Alves.
Well, he's always got at least 2 defenders in front of him, Dani Alves. Now here's one-on-one for Bojan.
Dealt with by Iván Hernández for the Barcelona corner.
Pass one, didn't get past the second.
Keita. In by Iniesta.
Ball. Fantastic cross from Iniesta, looking for Puyol and Busquets, both of them. Any sort of a contact, Kevin, would have resulted in a goal. Brilliant delivery.
Put the goalkeeper into no man's land. He didn't know whether to stick or twist there. Cuéllar, he tentatively came in the end.
Them. Time wasting. I think we warned him about 5 or 6 minutes ago.
Touch on the early side to be time wasting. Sporting players don't like the decision from Paradas Romero. Maxwell. Iniesta. Sergio Busquets. Everybody back behind the ball momentarily there for Sporting, and they continue to plug the gaps well. It's a good early ball forward for Barral. And look at the distance that Valdés came out of his penalty area to very good effect.
He really was keeper sweeper there, wasn't he?
He smelt the danger very early, didn't he? Had a very good season last time around. He won the Zamora Trophy, Victor Valdés, the goalkeeper that conceded the least amount of goals. It was the best record of all the keepers in the major leagues in Europe. And finally, he's been capped at senior international level, well deserving of that. Here's Iniesta. And Keita. Pretty routine. That took a slight deflection, but one that Cuéllar would have expected to have dealt with.
I don't know what it is, but none of all the strikes have all. I know it was deflected, it was taking the sting of it, but they've not really caught hold of them. The David Villa one never really got hold of either of his two attempts. I think the best effort was really Iniesta's, which brought, I thought, a top-class save from Cuéllar.
Sporting have carried very little threat going forward. They've seen precious little possession. Just one scuffed shot from Bilić that didn't begin to trouble Victor Valdés.
That greasy surface, Kevin, you can see. Once the ball hits the surface, it just zips on, and there's no way he's going to get a hold of that. And there's the shot from Keita. Bit of stink taken out of it, but not really getting hold of it. And that will suit Preciado and Sporting de Gijon.
Luis Morán. Well, that's risky. On a yellow card, Rivera. And if he sees a second yellow card here,
I think because Matabuena's was worse, the referee's sort of taking a little bit of pity on Rivera and going for Matabuena, giving him a yellow card. But you can't dive in like that now. Both the central midfield players are walking the tightrope.
well, that's risky from Rivera. Matabuena, who subsequently picked up the yellow. Very dangerous to commit yourself, as Alberto Rivera did. A lovely reverse pass. This is David Villa. Bojan was calling for the ball across the 6-yard area. Villa went for the near post.
Well, that's criminal, Kevin. He knows better than anyone else. You get a chance, you hit the target, but you do not miss it at the near post. And if the keeper saves it, there's a chance that Bojan will pick up the bits and pieces, but he doesn't even give him a chance. That's poor. And the whistles are echoing around the stadium, and I can see why. A lot of frustration here.
Barcelona have seen Jose Mourinho's Real Madrid win already this midweek. 3 wins in a row now for Mourinho and his players.
They couldn't win against the mighty Mallorca though on the opening day, Kevin.
Thought you might get that in. Here's Xavi. Iniesta. They're not finding the usual accuracy in their shooting so far, the champions. Cuéllar made one very good early save from this man Iniesta, not brought into action there.
Yeah, it's an under-par performance, I think, in the first 45. They're still, for me, only in second, third gear. They haven't really pushed into top gear too many times.
And the longer this goes on, the more heartened Sporting will become. The one extra minute has been added on. Interesting to hear the crowd's collective reaction when the whistle arrives shortly. Xavi. Tactically very good from Sporting, and the head coach Manolo Preciado looks like they're going to get into the break level. Sporting with a player down, and referee deciding that he'll end the first half anyway. Very good first half performance from Sporting Gijon. A little bit of a reaction there between Bilić and Busquets at the end of the half. Bilić, the Croatian, wasn't too happy with the challenge. The referee has shown a yellow card to Mate Bilić as the players come off at half-time. But it's 1.5 home league games now for the champions, and Barcelona still looking for their first home league goal. Half-time at the Camp Nou, 0-0.
Changes, 2 of them at half-time. Pedro on for Keita, that's an attacking move, and PK replacing Puyol. Back to the commentary team. Jerry Armstrong is alongside Kevin Keatings.
Pep Guardiola not standing on any ceremony after being disappointed with much of what he saw in that first half. And certainly an attacking substitution, Pedro for Keita, and a direct swap at the back. Gerard Piqué, who scored the winning goal against Atletico Madrid at the weekend, coming on incidentally for his 100th senior Barcelona appearance. Piqué replacing Puyol at the back.
Well, that's a straightforward swap for me, Kevin. You saw Puyol with that calf problem in the first 20 minutes. There's no point in aggravating it. They've got an excellent player on the bench to replace him, and I like the fact that they've taken Keita, who's a midfield player, off and put on Pedro, who's very exciting. Look at this.
It's incisive, and Iniesta read all the way by a watchful Iván Cuéllar in the Sporting goal.
Fabulous football there. Iniesta and Xavi combination, he hits the target.
Barcelona started tonight with just 3 changes from the team that played so well against Atletico Madrid. Piqué, one of the players that dropped out from that starting 11, but on at the start of the second half with the 8 changes that the head coach Preciado made in the Sporting side. Shows the depth they've got in their squad, because the fringe players that have come in have performed extremely well up to now, and continuing to frustrate David Villa against his hometown club, and still awaiting a first home league goal. David Villa.
Well, the 2 centre-backs have done well for me tonight here. Hernandez and Botía, both have been excellent.
You have to go back almost a quarter of a century for Sporting Gijon's one and only league win at the Camp Nou. But the longer the game goes on without a Barcelona goal, they might just get really confident of making it back-to-back home league wins for the champions. So there would be a story. There's a free kick for a rather fortunate Busquets. I think it was a foul, but he was struggling to clear his lines there.
Yeah, Rivera broke forward there, he loses possession, and that's a foul, but the referee's already blown, I think, from the previous incident, which was I think it's Lora. Yeah, it is Lora.
Interesting to see in the opening minutes how much Pep Guardiola got into his players at half-time. You'd have to suspect a fair amount. He won't have been happy with the tempo of the passing. It's sharper in the early moments, at least, of the second half, and no gap for Villa.
Those 2 again, Kevin. Excellent.
Busquets. Xavi. Now Alves. A lovely run. Beautifully timed this by Villa! There won't be much by way of celebration from the man born in Gijon. Scores against the club where he began his career. But that's more like Barcelona, and that's more like Villa.
Certainly was. Broke the offside trap, Kevin. He looked level to me. A lot of appeals for offside, but you'll see here, last defender's very lazy getting out. He plays him onside. Here in the right back, and in he comes. It's Sastre, the captain, who plays him on. What a finish. You know, and he's had two pretty good opportunities in the first half. Hasn't hit the target. This one he makes absolutely certain of. No chance for Cuéllar, and that's top drawer finishing from David Villa. The deadlock's broken. Can they go on from that?
Taken longer an opening goal for Barca than many of us expected. Perhaps even Sporting themselves, if they were truthful. And the first league goal at the Camp Nou in the shirt of Barcelona for David Villa.
Quite sure it won't be the last either.
Firm header won by Alves, given away by Iván Hernández. Piqué. Just the boost the champions needed at the start of the second half. They may go on to really enjoy themselves in this second half now. Certainly force Sporting out a little more from their defensive shell.
That's a great ball in from Dani Alves, caused all sorts of problems, and the corner kick's been given. Great start to the second half if you're a Barcelona fan. There he is, breaking the offside trap, head up. Thank you very much. And Sastre won't like to see the replay. He played him onside.
Players looking around, and appeared the referee flourished a yellow card there at Botía.
He's still complaining about the offside.
Yellow card confirmed for former Barcelona B defender Alberto Botía. Now has the marking duties on Piqué. Here's Gabriel Milito. Crowd enjoyed that from the Argentine. That's a little further forward than we're accustomed to seeing. Here's Villa. Iniesta. Nicely worked between Villa and Iniesta. Didn't quite drop for Bojan, and then Sporting very grateful to hear the whistle in their favour.
Well, they're toying again with them, Kevin. You know, they're playing little 1-2s, and it's just a matter of time, you would think, before there's a second goal. Well, relieved Messi will feel a little bit more relieved that without him they're taking the lead and look a little bit more adventurous, more positive, certainly for me.
Looks a little boy lost there in the stands, doesn't he?
He just wants to play.
He does.
Likes training, likes playing.
Well, he'd have asked his players, let's get to an hour, let's take it in stages in the second half. Preciado and continuing to frustrate Barcelona. Hasn't worked out in his game plan. It most certainly has for Guardiola. Maxwell's pass, rather lazy one. No scope afforded there to Bojan Krkić. Guardiola in his third season in charge of Barcelona. Only 8 trophies so far.
Struggling, isn't he?
Piqué. Matabuena. Easily tidied up by Milito. Away by Piqué. Lora. Down goes Jose Angel, and Sporting have a free kick. Seven red and white shirts have made their way forward towards the edge of that Barca penalty area, driven in by Jose Angel. Botía, the header forward, on by Matabuena. Under pressure, Luis Morán, as he tried the speculative effort.
Well, that was quite an effort. There's Manuel Preciado having a quick smoke.
Sporting coming into this match tonight with 1 win, 1 draw, 1 defeat. Looking to extend their stay amongst the big boys for another season. Here's Bojan. Turned away initially by Botía.
Keep giving possession away too cheaply though, Kevin. You know, when they do win it back, you get 1 or 2 passes and then that happens, poor pass. And it means that they're chasing all the time. They're working really, really hard, and they're going to get broke down. They're going to get tireder. And that's when Preciado will have to decide, do I need to bring fresh subs on? Do I need fresh legs as the pressure starts to mount? And here's Maxwell.
Decent looking cross, which Pedro is looking to come in on. Lora. Jose Angel. Lora again. Barral. Looking for Bilić. Easy defending though for Milito. This is Bojan.
That's really debatable, that one, Kevin.
Sporting Gijon getting ready to make a substitution. We're going to see Diego Castro, who's a striker come winger, top scorer for Sporting last season with 10 goals, coming on to replace the holding midfield player Sergio Matabuena. Probably be a different role now for Lora, with Castro likely to take up that left-sided striking position.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't expected to get anything here, Sporting Gijon, so they can be bold in the half an hour or so that remains. Castro has won an immediate free kick.
Well, Dani Alves has nicked it in between his legs. I don't think he's made that much contact, but made the most of it, haven't they? And he's gone down, got the free kick.
Botía just got there ahead of Bojan, who was forced to hurry his pass. This is Maxwell. Iniesta. Xavi might get room for the shot. Still thinking about it, Xavi.
None of them have really got hold of any of the shots from outside the box tonight, Kevin. Not Iniesta, not Xavi, not David Villa. You know, you can see him winding it up, but he never really got an awful lot of power in it or accuracy. He looks pretty disappointed because they have done well first 45, but they're bound to tire. And you can see there are 11 shots at goal for Barcelona, only the 2 from Sporting the Gijon.
Dani Alves. Back to him via Pedro, who's still in support here. This is Iniesta. Talking earlier about what a last year or so it's been for these Barcelona players. What a last few months, 6 months if you like, for Pedro, who went to the World Cup, of course, with Spain on the back of his breakthrough season here at the Camp Nou with 23 goals.
Yeah, he deserved to be in the squad, Kevin, and he did really well when he was in there. He had one, I think, mishap where he should have passed the ball earlier. It would have resulted in a goal for Torres, but other than that, I thought he was superb.
Here's Iniesta.
So was he. What a World Cup he had.
Crowd got excited there when they saw 3 Sporting players around Andres Iniesta and didn't begin to lose his composure. Like so many of these wonderful players that have come up through the La Masia Academy, they thrive on receiving possession in tight positions. Pedro, Alves, Xavi will go for goal again.
He got more power in the shot, but Kevin, no accuracy again, and it's been a feature in this game. I don't know why. Normally you expect these players to hit the target. There's great skills and close control to keep Rivera and Co off the ball. 3 players, as you said earlier, Kevin, and he didn't lose his composure. He knew exactly what he was going to do. Score the winning goal in a World Cup final, you have that sort of composure, don't you?
Also tends to increase your fan club just a touch. He's even been going to opposition grounds this season, as have a number of players, even the likes of Gijon Capdevila, the left back from Villarreal, go to opposition grounds and they get warmly applauded for their efforts in South Africa. Yeah, and fully deserving of it.
Well, we saw Iniesta last week in the game in Madrid. He came off towards the end. He got a standing ovation from Madrid fans. Now that tells you everything you need to know.
Yep.
But then I've seen that from Madrid fans before. I saw 1 goal from Ronaldinho, which was amazing from the halfway line. He outstripped Roberto Carlos and everybody else and took it round the keeper and put it in. And he got a standing ovation from the Real Madrid fans that day.
Bojan. Good looking ball to pick out Xavi. Here's Alves. Only Bojan in a challenging position, and that was easy for Iván Cuéllar. Rivera. Bilić. Sastre. Looking down the line here for Mate Bilić. It'll be easy for Valdés. Bojan. Sloppy from Maxwell. at this look on the face of Guardiola. David Villa's goal early on in the second half, the difference up to now. Dani Alves. Villa offside.
Well, one of the two centre halves is never too far away from him. He's just half a yard off there. He's gone too early for me, David Villa.
Here's Maxwell. Bojan. Barcelona looking for the cushion of a second goal, and then maybe Guardiola can rest one or two legs for the trip up to the Basque Country to take on Athletic Bilbao at the weekend, also with an eye on the second Champions League group stage match in Russia against Rubin Kazan next week.
That's a tough game to go to San Mamés, Kevin, you know, for Barcelona without Messi.
Don't go too far away, will you? We've got more Spanish football coming up for you. We're up to the Mestalla a little later for Valencia with a 100% record so far. That's likely to be tested by a good Atletico Madrid side. It'll be a really good game. Stay on these channels for that. And then on Thursday, you can see Sevilla against Racing Santander. And to watch that, go to skysports.com/video for the game at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Xavi. Huge amount of Barcelona possession. Now, what can Jose Angel do with a rare side of the ball for Sporting? He's at least got a free kick, gives Sporting a chance to push men forward.
You know, Jose Angel's done well. He's not pushed forward that much in the game tonight, I suppose, because they've been under the cosh so much. But now when they do push players forward, that means there's space at the other end, and they leave a lot of gaps, and they're vulnerable to the counter-attack, like this. Oh, it's a shame, because they broke the offside trap, and Pedro had enough pace to take that on. The skills from Gerard Piqué.
Another switch for Sporting Gijon. Off goes Bilić. He's replaced by a former Atletico Madrid player, Miguel de las Cuevas. Has an eye for goal. He got 8 last season. In his time at Atletico Madrid, played in the Champions League with them, de las Cuevas. He's talented, attacking midfielder. Quarter of the game to go at the Camp Nou. Lovely looking ball, and well gathered in here by the new man, de las Cuevas.
Great tackle.
Brilliant defending, wasn't it, from Milito?
He was falling over, he still managed to keep on his feet enough to take the ball out of play. That was a big challenge, big moment as well for Sporting Gijon. First touch was good, but what about that tackle on Barral? I tell you, that was brilliant.
Showed real pace there, didn't he, Diego Milito, to snuff out the danger.
He's got such determination as a defender, though. He really wants to win all the time. Great competitor.
Certainly a rare sight of Víctor Valdés' goal for Sporting. None shall pass, said Diego Milito to David Barral. Here's Piqué. Cut out by Sastre. Now Iniesta. Rivera. Javier Mascherano stripped and ready to come on for Barcelona. Let's look at his opportunity now.
Good play from Maxwell, the full-back.
Man on the left there is Sandro Rosell, the new president this season of Barcelona, having taken over from Joan Laporta. Off goes Bojan, on comes Mascherano. Javier Mascherano is in the Barcelona starting 11 that lost surprisingly here in the first home league game of the season to newly promoted Hercules. Adriano played in that game, but no sign of the former Sevilla player, the Brazilian, yet. It's not the biggest Barcelona squad before you get down to several very talented youngsters, but it's certainly a competitive squad. It may not be the biggest, but there is competition for places.
Yeah, I remember several years ago when we were saying about the young talent coming through and were they going to be good enough. One of them was Messi, and we said the same about Pedro last season. And, you know, you have to bring the young talent through. You've got to give them a chance. You look at Bojan, you look at Busquets. These are all players who have started to develop, and they're very young, and they'll be around for years and years to come. That's a great ball.
Feeding the run here of Dani Alves. Looking for Villa, cut out well by Botía. Now Milito. Well, Real Madrid have made a habit of winning without being at their best by 1-0 of late. The last 3 Real Madrid wins have all been by that scoreline. Maybe it's going to be a similar story for the champions. They have been better in the second half by a measure. So rather anemic first 45. That's to take nothing away from Sporting Gijon, who were very well set up defensively and frustrated Barcelona for most of that first half. They've had to do more chasing the visitors in the second. Here's Villa. Worked out nicely here to Iniesta. Down goes Villa. Came under challenge from Iván Hernández, and Villa's hurt.
He's brave, David Villa. It's a 50-50 ball. I think he's got caught in the ribs. There he goes, he's getting up, and he gets caught with an elbow just under the rib cage, under his right arm there. He's all right.
Comes from tough stock, doesn't he? David Villa hails from a mining family, which is very much one of the main areas of employment, isn't it, up in Gijon?
Yeah, he sent some money, didn't he, to
yes.
the miners in South America.
Yeah,
Chile.
lovely touch, those trap miners in Chile. Milito. Lovely pass from Iniesta, gloriously stroked out to Alves. This is Pedro. And Xavi somehow saw the gap to pick out Dani Alves. Oh, well blocked by Jose Angel.
Well, they haven't buckled since the early goal, Kevin, in the second half. To their credit, I think Preciado will be happy about that. He's brought on fresh legs. They're working just as hard now as they did at the start of the game. That's probably why it's still only 1-0.
Iniesta used his body brilliantly there. This is Pedro and Villa. Sergio Busquets. Finally, Sporting Gijon managed to cross the halfway line. I don't think it's going to be for long, though. This is a team that has shown us in their 2 seasons since coming up from the second division, Sporting Gijon, that they like to attack home and away.
Yeah.
They're just not really getting much of an opportunity to mount any attacks here. Have to have the ball first.
That's the problem. But then a lot of sides find that problem against Barcelona. Most of the teams I've seen them play against, Kevin, they will have at least 60-65% possession, and that's home and away.
Well, that would be a minimum to what they've had tonight, surely.
Oh, he's had his pocket pick.
Not the best of passes from Pedro. Barcelona working hard for this second goal, which they'll feel will more than likely put them out of sight of Sporting Gijon. Here's Xavi. Somehow wriggled away from 2. This is Alves. Once he got into that position, he had every right to think of producing a better cross, the Brazilian. Barral, the foul on Iniesta.
That's a foul, but that's all it is. Good skills from Pedro.
Maxwell. Here's Xavi. Head up as ever. Looking at the big picture. This will be kept in, I think, by Maxwell. Teases a great ball in towards Villa. Hooked away by Rivera. Piqué.
That's a foul, and the referee's got that one right.
Iván Hernández on Villa.
He was looking to play an advantage, the referee. He waited to see where the ball went, and when he didn't get the retention of the ball, it was correct to give him the free kick.
Busquets. Mascherano for Maxwell. Turning into trouble there. It's going to be a card here for Milito, yeah. Committed himself, and he didn't make it cleanly. I don't think Paredes Romero, the referee, had any option.
Well, he knew exactly what was coming, didn't he, Morán?
Well, he won't be back for the weekend, Lionel Messi. And they appeared to miss his spark in the first half. Guardiola would have had a few choice words at the interval. They got the goal 4 minutes after the restart and have continued to rain attacks down on this Sporting Gijon goal. Still the second goal eluding them.
That's good play from Sporting Gijon. They really are a hard-working side, Kevin.
Tidy work from Milito. He can be well pleased with his first league start of the season. Piqué and Puyol, of course, the 2 first-choice central defenders. Pedro. Rivera with the block.
Well, there was 4 or 5 red, white striped shirts in front of him.
Here's Xavi. Alves. Maxwell. Pedro. Great run here. Dani Alves, the furthest player forward. And was he fouling in the eyes of the referee? I think he has been penalised.
Yeah, he was the intended target from the pass there, and it's young Jose Angel who's coming in, and he's pushed him in the back. He's trying to stop him getting his body in the way, and that's good defending from the young left back.
Still got a chance, Sporting Gijon, of upsetting the champions. One spark of inspiration, one mistake at the back from Barca.
It's never enough, that's why, Kevin. 10 minutes to go, this game's still wide open. Sporting Gijon get one good clear-cut opportunity. Stick it away, they can come away with a point here. Oh, can they finish it off?
Pedro on the chase. Very well dealt with by Iván Hernández.
Two centre-backs have been superb tonight, Hernández and Botía. Have to say, very good play.
Corner will look for Piqué, not down by Villa. Well, he was brave there, Cuéllar. Boot was flying from Pedro.
He's done well tonight, Kevin. Cuéllar, Iván Cuéllar.
He might be 26 years old, the Sporting goalkeeper, but he's been a reserve throughout most of his career. He's not reached 30 La Liga appearances before tonight. Pedro. Milito. Lots of room for Maxwell on the left if Barcelona seek to use him instead. Mascherano looks right, and Piqué. Sastre at the moment, the right back for Sporting, doesn't know whether to push in or keep an eye on Maxwell, who's got all this room. Barcelona was trying to seek him out there. Rivera. It's an attempted pass for Castro, which was never reaching its target. Real Madrid with 10 points, currently top La Liga after their opening 4 matches of the season. Barcelona win here at the Camp Nou would take them on to 9. Remember, Valencia hosting Atletico Madrid in the match you can see next on the channel. You're watching Barcelona attack here, trying to make it 12 points out of 12, Valencia. Who'd have thought that after losing David Villa and David Silva in the summer? Really good start for Unai Emery and his team.
They've done well, haven't they? Good buys as well. Adarif was a great signing from Mallorca. I think that's probably the buy of the summer for me. Fantastic value for money.
Still Barcelona come. No respite for that hard-working Sporting defence.
They're are well organised, Kevin, honestly. Been impressed with Jesus Angel as well, Jose Angel, and the two centre-backs. Sastre made one mistake which cost the goal, but they've looked very, very solid, very competent, and everybody in the team's worked tremendously well to keep them in the game at 1-0. Still half a chance that they could get something out of this match.
Here's Pedro. Maxwell. Xavi. For Dani Alves. Lovely crisp passing from Barcelona. Has it got an end product? Oh, very nearly from Villa. That would have been a superb team goal from Barcelona.
But you know, he knew in his mind when he got the ball exactly what he was going to do. He only half-turned and he looked for the chip straight away. Knew the keeper was slightly advanced and he went for the little dink, and the keeper said, please go wide or please go over the top, because he wasn't going to get anywhere near it, and that's very close to the second goal. It's Rivera.
Final throw of the dice in terms of the fresh legs from Manolo Preciado. It's his side search for a shock equaliser here. PK should get there. Sporting are not going to get the corner that David Barral was rather optimistically looking for. It will be a goal kick. Confirmation of Rivera being replaced by Frendes, one of the youngsters coming through at Sporting Gijon. Surprise inclusion in their squad when a lot of the players who started against Athletic Bilbao at the weekend didn't even make the 18 and travelled here to Barcelona. This is Maxwell. Villa. Three minutes of the 90 left. It's well cut out by Botía. Just won't stick up front for Sporting Gijon. Here's David Villa. Iniesta. Deflection was kind to Cuéllar. Certainly had him scrambling.
Well, I think it took a deflection, Kevin, off Botía. He's got his leg out. Left foot strike from Andres Iniesta. Yeah, came off the foot of Botía, goes for the corner.
David Villa's goal, still the difference. How many times has Víctor Valdés touched the ball in this second half? I can't think more than 2 or 3 times. There's the possession, which is what Barcelona normally enjoy here. Not being at their best. It looks like one goal is going to be enough. They were most certainly at their best against Atletico Madrid last weekend, even by their very, very, very high standards. Barcelona were sensational in that match.
It's as if they knew it was going to be a tough game. Well, they've lost the last few seasons they've been there, Kevin, and they felt like we've got to raise our game, and they did. They really took it to a high limit. Unfortunately, they lost Messi in the process. Now have a chance.
De las Cuevas settled for the corner kick. Well, surely Sporting Gijon can't pinch an undeserved equaliser, can they, in the 90th minute? 2 efforts a goal, that's all they've had all evening. Neither of those have been on target that I can recall. But they're still on the front foot. Piqué struggling to get there. And that's going to be a free kick. In a very inviting position now for Sporting Gijon. Yellow card for Piqué.
Yeah, quite correctly as well. And everybody getting forward for Sporting de Gijon in the final minute of the game. Excellent skills. Definitely a foul.
There's around 500 Sporting fans up in the top tier towards the corner of the ground where Sporting are spotting up this free kick. And they'll be in raptures if their side can pinch a point here. And it's a position in which they can go direct to trouble Víctor Valdés. Barcelona didn't see that. It's Jose Angel. Well, it's easy in hindsight, Jerry, but the better option surely was to drive it in with pace.
Drive it in with pace into the box, could have got a deflection. Obviously something they've maybe worked on in training, and I didn't think Angel needed to take a touch as well, Kevin. Had to be struck first time.
Well, just 1 or 2 sniffs and an opportunity for Sporting. But it's going to be 5 defeats out of 5, it would seem, since they came up from the second division against Barcelona. A run which has seen them only score 2 goals. But wait a moment. They're beginning to crowd that Barca penalty area. It's away by Piqué.
Castro's done well on that left-hand side. Caused quite a few problems. Angel's looking to gain a few metres.
Last seconds. Referee decides that will be enough. Barcelona get their first home league win of the season. Probably should have won it by a bigger margin. Guardiola and Preciado discuss the merits of the 90 minutes, but an early second half goal from the former Sporting Gijon player David Villa made it Barcelona 1, Sporting 0.